Nothing else? No. Okay. Can go.
Peace of mind.
Here's the table. Okay.
Nimic în fața organelor de cercetare penală, deși e dosarul vechi, acum sunt probe noi, cum că acești indivizi milionari, practic.
Yes, what you just saw in the video is true. Andrew Tate, as well as his brother Tristan Tate, have both been arrested in Romania under some allegations of, they said it was rape and sexual related allegations. If these claims are true, then there are going to be rows of people that are both happy and cheering for the recent news. In my opinion, I don't believe we should be quick to jump onto the story because, as we've seen in the past, Andrew Tate has been accused of allegations similar to this before that were proven false. This all comes in the wake of a Twitter feud that Andrew Tate actually had with political speaker Greta Thunberg on Twitter. As we can see through the tweets, Greta Thunberg and Andrew Tate went back and forth in kind of a childish argument over Andrew Tate's cars, with Greta Thunberg responding to Andrew Tate that she believed that he was exhibiting little dick energy and providing some funny email. Andrew Tate responded saying this confirmed that Greta Thunberg did have a small penis, and it was sort of just a back and forth between the two because of the dislike that they have for each other and the differing views that they have. Another popular figure that was very vocal about this was actually Adin Ross, who made a few mistakes while talking about the issue.
All right, Chad, look, I just woke up to some crazy catastrophic news about Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate. They just got raided and arrested in Romania. Listen, it's over some sexual trafficking. I don't know what to believe. I don't know what's going on. All I know is there was like some Twitter feud with someone named Greta, or something like that. Greedy. And something happened where she basically said something like email me or something like that.
Firstly, Adin didn't know much about the situation, and as we saw in the clip there, he struggled a lot to pronounce that word. But then secondly, he had this to say about why it's important that we focus on politics.
And this is also just a side thing, I thought. If they have trouble getting out of jail, this is exactly why we need Trump back in office, so he can pardon them. This is why not history is important. Not history. It's history what's not important. It's what's politics are important. We need certain people in office who make sure that stuff like this doesn't happen.
Now, while I completely agree with Adin on the fact that we should be very, very concentrated on our politics and we should be very, very careful about who we're appointing into office, obviously there's a bit of lack of understanding there with Adin on exactly how presidential pardoning works. Firstly, Joe Biden can't pardon someone who was arrested in Romania. Secondly, Donald Trump, as far as we know, doesn't have any real connection with Andrew Tate, so there's no real way to know that he would have pardoned Andrew Tate had he been arrested in America where the president actually has power. However, this did call into action a lot of people on Twitter who did not agree with this. One member who we know is very close with Andrew Tate, Sneako, was very vocal in the hours after the announcement. Sneako posted on his Twitter saying things like, the next lockdown is going to be related to climate change, and that's probably because of the fact that Greta Thunberg is a massive speaker on issues like climate change and the things that cars and transportation do to affect our ozone layer and affect the climate overall. Iman Ghatzi also posted around the time saying, God is not dead. People have been very cryptic in terms of those who are close to Tate, and also they are not quick to jump onto the news as fast as some others. As I mentioned earlier, people are going to be very, very, very eager to jump onto this news as some sort of proof that Andrew Tate is some monster or that they knew it all along, that these guys must have been up to something wrong. But I do warn you, and of course I'm not someone that you have to take the advice of, but as someone who is well studied, I will say you should not be too quick to jump onto the news until you know the full story. If anything has taught us that, it's been the last 2 to 3 years, especially considering what's happened with the coronavirus and with other things related to world-shattering news. We can be very quick to jump onto these things. We can be very quick to read the headline and say, I knew it. And within weeks, months, and sometimes even days, we're proven wrong, or we're forced to retract our statements and to rethink what we thought about the initial statement. Now, I will say, I have to play devil's advocate. If these statements are true, as a man, obviously we will have to condemn Tate. Some of the things that he says, and most of the things that he says, are true. And not only are they true, but they hold a lot of value to young men who lack identity, purpose, or drive to be something and want something out of this world. However, if he is actually accused and actually proven to have been involved in trafficking or rape, obviously, these are acts that we will have to condemn. Now that the devil advocate is over, I will say in my personal opinion, I do not believe these to be true. I believe that in the wake of a massive argument with a giant political figure, it's just kind of fishy in my opinion that Andrew Tate would be arrested after releasing information that would indicate that he is in Romania, or releasing information of where his whereabouts might be. Is that to say that I believe that this process is going to be somehow manipulated by the government and infiltrated so that they try to make it look bad or make it look worse than it actually is? Maybe. In all honesty, because of Tate's willingness and ability to attack the establishment, and by the establishment I mean the dark figures in the background, there has to be some sort of lingering thought, especially in the back of my head as a Tate fan, that someone might be manipulating this situation in a less favorable way to Tate. However, I will say that his position of being in Romania at the time and not in a country like the UK or like the United States or one of the more dominant world powers might play into his favor. Not only does Tate have a lot of influence, but he also has the ability and the power, as well as the money, to get himself out of sticky situations if need be. Now, am I advocating for Tate to use his power and use his money to get out of a bad situation if he actually did do these acts? Absolutely not. But what I am saying is that if he was put in this position in America, trust me, there would be little to nothing that he could do. So let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed the breaking news, please leave a like on the video, subscribe as we continue to update each other on this situation through things like Twitter and my videos. And please leave a comment about what you think about this situation so that we can continue the conversation in the comment section down below. I'm really looking forward to hearing updates about this, and hopefully Tate will be released soon and we can get to hear the full story. But until next time, and until the next video, dreamers, out.